everybody. This week I'm finally going to get to what's been a pretty highly requested video, and that is how to wash your pit bike. The very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the air compressor and I'm going to go through and just blow off all of just the loose dirt and kind of pre-clean it before we put the water to it. Now that all the loose dirt and dust has been removed, there are two areas that we have to prep before we can wash. The first one being the air filter. You don't want to get water inside your air filter, so we're going to have to cover that up with some plastic. And for that, I'm going to use sandwich bags, some zip ties, and possibly some duct tape. I'm not sure yet. The first thing that I did here is I took this hose, and it's got like a little clip on it. I took the clip off and I pulled this hose off of the air filter because it's going to be a lot easier for me to put the plastic over the air filter. So I'm going to take and slide this on here. This is slightly hard to see here, but I have the air filter inside of the sandwich bag. The sandwich bag is folded over, and I have it taped to itself. And I also, sealed up the bag. And then I have it taped to itself. And then I took a zip tie and just tightened it down right along the edge of the air filter, just so that it's sealed. Now you can really do this however you want, just as long as you're sure that no water can get to your air filter. Since we took this hose off of the air filter earlier, we're just going to do the same treatment to it. I'm going to take another sandwich bag. I'm going to put the hose down inside the sandwich bag, and I'm just going to seal it up. And this one I'm not going to bother taping or zip tying, because as long as this right here on the end is protected, it'll be fine. The second thing you're going to want to prep is your muffler. You definitely don't want any water getting down inside there. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug the inside of the muffler, and then we're also going to wrap some plastic around it as well. So I just have an old rag here. I'm going to put it down inside. I'm going to be using another sandwich bag. I'm going to put it right over the top here. And again, of course, I'm going to seal the bag. And I want it to be a good ways down. I'm not worried about this being dirty because I'm just going to wipe it off anyway. And then we also have our zip ties, and for this I'm going to use two, just so it'll fit around. I'm going to seal that up. Now, we've taken care of all of our prep areas. However, when we're washing, we're going to take special care of those areas. We're going to be mindful of the bags, and I'm not going to, spray water directly on or at any of the bags. I'm going to be very careful around them, because even though we have everything covered and sealed off, you really don't want to take no chances, because then you just wasted all the work covering everything. I'm also not going to be using any type of special wash. I'm just going to use my regular car wash and sponges. And then from there, we're just going to wash it like you would a car. We're going to rinse it down with some water first, and then soap it up and scrub it. Next, we're going to get into the more detailed stuff. And I'm not like finely scrubbing this because mine wasn't that dirty to begin with. And I don't mind if there's still a little dirt here and there. it's time to rinse. Now clearly, depending on how dirty your bike is, will determine how much time it takes you to wash and how detailed your wash is. Mine wasn't all that dirty, so it was easily washed off. But if you've got like caked on mud and stuff, you're gonna have to work a little bit harder. But now that we've got everything washed and rinsed, now we're gonna go through and dry it. Now that everything's pretty well dry for the most part, I'm just going to take and pull my bike over into the sun and let the heat do the rest of the work. And while I have it sitting out drying in the sun, I'm also going to go ahead and leave all of the plastic bags on, just because there will still be some dripping. Now that everything's nice and dry, we can take off all of our plastic. And reattach our hose. And to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to take the clip that goes on here. I'm going to put it back on first. Slide it back on. We've got the clip back in its place. I'm going to take this one off. After I finish washing the bike and everything's all dry, I'm going to go through and spray some chain lubricant just to prevent from rust. And ideally you would take your cover off, but I'm too lazy for that right now. Okay, that's it. That's how you would wash your pit bike. It's a pretty simple process, just a couple of areas that you need to prep first and make sure that you keep dry. Thank you guys for watching and requesting this video, and I will see you next week.